You good to go? Would everyone please stand for Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for an invocation? God, as we gather this evening, we thank you for this wonderful town that we live in and the privilege that it is to serve it. This council asks for strength, courage, and wisdom in all of our decisions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Call to order the February 6th meeting of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes from our previous meeting. I need a motion to either approve or amend the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes is written.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain. 4-0. Greg, Josh, 4-0-1. I abstained because I was not here. Did you have one of those for me? What are these? You should have one. There's that. I've got it here. No, I don't. Next item on the agenda is bid opening community crossings grant. Can I have your letter opener? In no particular order, just the way that they're stacked. Condra, do we have someone here from Banning? We have the Form 96, is that going to be uniform throughout the bid process? Did you send that with everyone?
Yes, this form should have the total price on there.
For base bid amount?
Yes, correct.
Okay. The first bid to open up is Wallace Construction. Their bid is $918,286.25. See attached highway proposal. And that is listed in there on 96 right there. The next bid is E&B Paving, LLC. It is for $1,172,941.34. Next bid is from All Star Paving. Their bid is $1,388,714.85. I'm not sure we've ever seen this many bids on a paving project. Did you say that was a total contract bid?
Yeah.
Next one is DC Construction Services.
What was that, Tom?
DC. D is in dog, C is in Charlie. And their bid is $1,045,154.88. Next bid is Midwest Paving. And their bid is $1,258,474.01. The next bid is Grady Brothers Incorporated. And their bid is $1,096,947 even. $1,096,947. The next bid is Howard Companies. And their total bid is $1,348,588.00. We've received a total of 7 bids. Normally, gentlemen, what we would do is we would give these bids back to Dave and Banning Engineering to review, make sure that they're all responsive, make a recommendation. I need a motion to do that.
Move to send the bids to Dave and Banning Engineering for review.
Motion been made, do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Craig, Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is awarding of the surveillance and access contract. I don't know. Bill, did you kind of head this up or part of it, or we received 2 letters of recommendation? Can you kind of elaborate on this?
Yes, so the department heads met last week and reviewed the proposals and also the summary that you have before you. That was basically consolidating the stack of binders sitting in front of Diana with the information collected of the company's name, resources for links for information, specific softwares that they are including, total project costs, camera totals, access door system totals, and then also any warranty inclusion for that, any service agreement costs for after the project is installed, and any future questions or things that were also included in their proposals. So the recommendations, and this is unanimous, to all the department heads that were at the meeting, came to the unanimous decision that in the summary, number 2 and number 4, that is Aptec and Verkada Systems and Midwest Security Systems and Verkada, were our optimal top choice. The reason why we have selected both these companies is there's similarities because they are both providing the software system and camera system with Verkada, which is a subscription service. So that camera system, as included in the package, that in the proposals, that is at a 3-year subscription. So what the town would do is we pay for the installation for the equipment and the licensing with Verkada. That licensing lasts for 3 years, and then at the term of the 3-year, we would then either renew for one of their packages, either at the same 3-year rate or their extension rates, which is 1 year, 3 year, 5, or 10. The Verkada themselves, with the 3 proposals that we received that were pitching, Verkada has guaranteed if the town were to select their system, their subscription cost at the 3-year term, the town would see the same cost at the date of subscription. At the 3-year term renewal would be at the same cost that we would spend this year. So the other option that the department had selected, if the town, the council would elect not to go with the subscription process, we've selected Security Pros LLC as the alternative for that. The difference with that system, it is majority a cloud-based system. The licenses are paid at point of when we are during install, and then the annual service agreement cost, you can see the breakdown with that comes into their cloud-based storage with the software recording systems, access control with Brevo systems, and multiple things. That's why the service agreement cost with Security Pros is significantly higher, elevated to the other systems that you see in this proposal summary. And we can provide that breakdown for the council. The one thing to note with the annual service agreements, both Aptec and Midwest Security Systems said that annual service agreement is scalable. So after the project would be completed and installed, we can then sit at the table and refine the service agreement and determine the final cost annually for them to continue maintenance and servicing for the access control and camera system.
So, in the choice 1 and 2 that use the Verkada, is that fee included in? One of them's $32,000 a year, and one of them is $13,000 a year.
Correct. So with the service agreements, portion breakdowns of what they've included in that is labor costs for their technicians to come out and service the equipment, biannual service where they'll come and check all the door systems, all the working components of every camera, every door, making sure that the system is still functioning properly. The other components of that service agreement is the on-call servicing for troubleshooting problems and solutions. The addition with Verkada systems is Verkada offers 24/7 basically customer service to troubleshoot. They can remote into the system to help us troubleshoot if it's just the camera malfunction or if it's a door system malfunction. And with that, if it's deemed to hardware, they will replace the hardware at no cost. And also if there is a system upgrade or software package upgrade, they will include that newest system that is compatible with ours. The warranties, the reason for the kind of the cost difference that you see as the total project cost, Midwest Security Systems is providing an additional 12-month warranty with Midwest Security Systems, along with I believe it is 3 months. Yeah, 3 months of labor warranty within that package, on top of Verkada's universal system of a 10-year warranty for specific cameras, 5-year warranty for all pan-tilt zoom cameras, and 3 different models. The reason for the 5 years is those specific camera systems that are identified with Verkada's warranty, those have mechanical components, so the lesser of the warranty is the reason for that, and I did ask for that explanation. So.
Looking at these, why wouldn't we go with the lowest price one?
The scalability that we saw with Verkada and the system software technology that's behind it is, into the department head's opinions, the best option for price. We're talking for our lateral choice of Security Pro systems versus Aptec Verkada. You're looking at Security Pros is at the $245,814.08 at project cost. Aptec with Verkada systems is $248,287.30. What we saw with the software that's included, the scalability systems. It was also mentioned during this meeting of looking at building security system, so actual monitoring alarm system for controls. This building alone is very large, so just for the security of mind for some of our staff members who arrive firsthand, to make sure that they understand that when they arrive, they, to the system, are the first ones to walk through the door.
But the annual cost on the one that was your third choice is $68,000.
Correct.
Corson Security is a little more money, but their annual service is a lot less.
We opted not to select or provide a recommendation for both Coursing Fire and tailored systems off of current customer service experience with systems that are currently installed with the town. So our department head's first concern is the continuation of those customer service issues if we were to invest in a larger scale project to this caliber.
I think that's going to be important. If, because Tom, I think where you're going right now is when we look at this and it was put out there for bids, lowest responsible bidder, we have certain things listed. Phil, you're saying now that your recommendation is to consider a couple of these as non-responsible, essentially, is what I'm hearing, based upon your and the town's exposure to them. We'll need to have that clearly delineated. If the council wants to take that, the council would have to clearly accept that, saying we are finding them to be non-responsible for these reasons, and therefore we're moving to a next lowest, the first responsive bidder then.
We placed one of the questions within one of our review and scoring capabilities of if the bidder or corporation has had previous or current work with the town, is that to the positive or negative? And we have selected that both of those corporations just do with the customer service relations that we've experienced recently and in past. And other department heads can speak on to that, the customer service relations that we've experienced. It was our recommendation not to put them forward as our favorable recommendation to the council.
So we'll probably need some of those department heads to come up to say what the specific issues were, because that's what we're going to. The council needs to make their determination on. Does that rise to the level that they are a non-responsible bidder?
And I can speak firsthand. I do not have a Corsine fire. The only thing that we have involved with Corsine fire is their annual renewal for our fire extinguishers. That customer service that we've experienced is, firsthand. They do the job. They certify our fire extinguishers. The only system that I can personally speak on from firsthand experience since I've started with the park system is Tailored Systems. We had camera systems that were down for majority of our summer, and that is into our lower level, which is the highest priority during the summer, because that is our primary drop-off and pickup point for our kiddos for our summer camp. And it took, in response time, close to 2 months for the first technician to actually come to the solution problem, and then an additional 3 months for those systems to actually be replaced, an additional month for those systems to actually be functional. So close to a 5 to 6 month time frame to switch out 2 cameras and 1 communication switch for one of our deemed highest priority rating areas of main concern of operational standpoint and the safety of our children and participants.
Is that correct? Yeah, so if we table this and take it into consideration, what you can do is do that. I can work together and get the information as to why certain entities may be deemed to be non-responsible, and then place that in a resolution for your consideration, and then lay out whether or not.
Jeffrey, did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to be as respectful to these corporations as possible. It's our first concern as department heads. Understandable.
The way that the bid process works. Do you feel comfortable with that, Jeff?
Sure.
Bert? Josh?
Yes.
Great. Let's have a motion to table, and each one of us can get a hold of your different department heads and kind of get a feel for it. And I'm sure Drew will be reaching out to you.
Not a problem.
Can I have a motion to table?
motion to table for further consideration.
Motion to table, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Five, Greg, Josh, 5. Next item on the agenda is the meeting room equipment funding resource. I don't know if you gentlemen had a chance to look at that and maybe have thoughts on your own in looking at it. We do have a opioid settlement unrestricted fund that is $241,000. I think that the purchase of the equipment and the annual fee out of that would be an acceptable use. The unrestricted fund can be used for any general fund purpose. Were there any thoughts from the council?
What did you say the second one was?
The second,
You said, what did you say?
the opioid settlement.
Okay.
You got a fund report there?
Yeah, I do.
On the first page, it's down 2257. No, 2256. It's the
I got it.
unrestricted. We could pay the equipment and then also pay the annual fee out of that. Any other suggestions or motions?
To fund the meeting room equipment out of the opioid settlement unrestricted.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is Police Commission appointment. I was not here at the last meeting, and I apologize. I was sick. Early in the year, I had a conversation with Fred, and Fred had talked about possibly wanting to spend more time away. And it kind of bothered me because I have, in the past, as appointments, I have begged Fred to stay on there. I mean, asked him, and he's been a good member of the Police Commission, and I did not want to see that. We received a letter from Fred expressing his desire and interest in continuing to serve, and that was kind of a relief. Our police department has made some great strides, made some changes, appears to be doing what we expect a police department to do. While I can't make a motion or second it, I would be disappointed if we do not reappoint Fred Settles.
Motion to appoint Fred Settles to continue on.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain. Kirk, I did not see a vote.
Yes.
Aye. Greg, Jeff, 401. Planning Commission appointment. We received a application from what would be an outstanding appointment to our Planning Commission. Bob Kurtz has been a member of this community for a long time and has served on our, as a fireman, has volunteered a lot of time to the town of Mooresville and has tried to make Mooresville a better place. And speaking to Bob, one of the things that pained me to realize was he has been or is appointed to the Morgan County Board of Health. I don't have that in front of me. I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah, I didn't pull it up.
Okay, one of the requirements of our planning commission, and it is only our planning commission, is you cannot be, and you have to bear with me here because it's a little convoluted the way they do it. You cannot be appointed to any other board. You cannot be elected to any other position. However, we do have a member that is with Josh, he is appointed as a town employee to the Planning Commission, and that is acceptable. But I did call Bob, I did talk to him. I asked him if he would consider leaving the Morgan County Board of Health, and Bob said the right answer. He said, I made a commitment. I was appointed and served one term, and I've been reappointed, and my commitment is to them. And I think probably we would be disappointed if he said, yeah, I'm going to actually quit them to come to you. I did ask him if he would allow us to keep his resume, application, whatever we want to call it, on file for the any other opening. If any of our other boards he could be a member of. It is just the Planning Commission. I called Jewel and I asked him what in the world were they thinking, and he said he didn't know. But he did concur with that. So,
Is that
just the Planning Commission. And it is just the 4 members that are appointed by the executive officer. There are certain requirements, and obviously a resident of the town of Mooresville, but they cannot be an elected official or be appointed to any boards. Jewel, I think we're perfectly clear on that.
Yeah, so it is with the citizen members of the Plan Commission. The Plan Commission is always treated a little bit differently because you deal with zoning there, and those citizen members cannot hold another elected position unless it is the appointing authority, cannot serve on another municipal, county, or state board unless it is the BZA, which has appointing authority to the Plan Commission. And so it's, unfortunately, the Morgan County Health Department Board is a county appointment board, and so he's precluded from holding that position.
So my apologies to Bob Kurtz. I do appreciate the fact that you sent in an application for it. I would like to continue to hold on to that in case we do have an opening on another board. That still leaves us with opening to fill on the Planning Commission. I would hope that anyone in the audience or listening or watching would feel free to inquire and possibly apply to. We need people to fill that position. Next item on the agenda is the Ordinance 1, 2024. This is the salary ordinance amendment, and this is for the part-time dispatchers. Harry, my apologies, I wasn't here last meeting, and we did talk about this, and it just slipped through the ranks.
Okay. Yeah, just want to try to get it fixed.
Any questions for Carrie? I need a motion to either approve or deny Ordinance 1, 2024.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 1, 2024.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Josh Kirk, 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to send the resolution from last meeting, honorarily naming Monroe Street. It did not get signed. Next item on the agenda under new business is Daughters of the American Revolution.
My name is Ann Moore, and I represent the 10 o'clock line chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And I'm seeking permission to put new banners up when the banners that are on High Street come down. This is a picture of the new banner. We did 40. There are 40 banners hanging up on High Street. I don't want to do that many in July.
That's going to be disappointing to the citizens of Mooresville because I've had call after call wanting to know how to get in line for that.
I've got names on a list at home. If I do 30, I've got half of them done.
So is there any particular reason why you don't want to do 40?
It's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's precious photos that people send in, and you have to be very careful with those. I spent quite a bit of money sending them back to them, and then when these banners come down, I get them back to the people who purchased them, and alongside getting the new banners so the town can take down and put up at the same time. And it's just an awful lot of work. If I get a lot of names, if I get a lot of calls, I'll call Josh and see if I can have more banners. So
if we approved up to and not to exceed 40 banners, would that give you enough leeway that you wouldn't have to?
yes. That
And do
would-
you have a price for them this year?
Same price as last year. They're $120. And we turned around and gave most of that in a check to the healing wall that's coming to Morgan County Fairgrounds in August. So we have already sent the money on.
Any thought of those? I'd be willing to help you make sure we get those. That'll put us all the way down High Street.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know whether you wanted me to High Street or whether you wanted St. Clair, because they got new posts on banners.
Yeah, I think
bracket.
St. Clair, that's more for the school.
Okay.
40 would fill it all the way back up. So I'm willing to help if not. So.
I can do it, and I'm on it this year. Last year, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I know now. It's just a lot of computer work, and we've got some lovely people here in Mooresville. I only had one person that was not pleased with me, and he wanted to send a digital picture, and the printer wants to do their own digitizing. So,
You have a flyer for us to post on social media and on our Facebook or our website?
yeah, I was going to wait to see where I was going to put the banners before I send that. Yeah, I don't want to get it going too soon. I want to cut off dates of 1st of May, and then that'll give plenty of time to get them before 1st of July. I'm looking for up before the 1st of July.
There any questions or comments?
I think it's a wonderful thing you've done.
I think we got a couple of handsome gentlemen in here that their photos are up there somewhere. Raise your hand. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your service. We certainly appreciate it. I need a motion to allow her to place up to 40 banners along High Street.
I'll make that motion. We approve up to 40 banners up on the High Street.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Josh Gregg, 5-0. Department head reports. Can you give him a chance to get out of bed and get dressed and then come up here?
He's taking a nap back here. I don't have a whole lot. We did, told you we lost 2 people at the beginning of the year. Chad Richard just put in his notes that the 28th will be his last day of February, so we'll be down 3 people. We have 2 people going through perf right now, so we're hoping to keep our numbers pretty steady. The only other thing that I have is, we had the mold remediation across the street, and we have garage bays full of records from way back. So we're trying to figure out, maybe we need to get a shred truck or something like that. Do you guys use that? Any kind of service like that?
Debbie, can you speak on behalf of that? Because we did receive a memo, email today about shredding documentation that has mold on it. So we need to talk about that, maybe get together. I don't know what our solution's going to be, but
I wasn't going to tell them I had mold on it.
Just did.
I just need somebody. No. A lot of it, apparently, it has been cleared. We've been using caution going through them, but like I said, there's records clear back to the 70s that we only have to retain 90 days. So, yeah, we have boxes and boxes and boxes. So. Other than that, unless you guys have questions for me, that's all I got. Thank you.
You want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Do what, I'm sorry?
You want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I can go first real quick. Just a couple things real quick. We did receive a grant a couple weeks ago. I've been working with the town clerk's office. It is a matching grant. It's a $10,000 grant, so $5,000 come out of our budget, and then they'll rematch it with the $5,000. The only other question, which I know it's not on here, again, with the signs, the digital signs, I'm open for questions or anything like that. If you guys have any questions, just feel reach right out. I think we're going to kind of table that for tonight because there is a long agenda here going on tonight. So other than that, I have nothing else unless you got questions. What was the grant for? DNR, so fire gear, PPE, hand tools, hose, stuff like that.
Any other questions for Matt? Matt and I received an invitation to meet with Josh Mesmer and Brian Collier and all of the trustees throughout the county and representatives from most all of the fire departments to listen to. Apparently there is litigation. There's always talk of ways that Indianapolis thinks that the counties can save money or the local government can save money. And one of the things that is being talked about, or the catchphrase is fire districts or fire territories. At that point in time when we got the invitation, Mark Harris also reached out and said, it's time for us to at least look at this again. I don't know that I saw anything at the county level that made me think that was going to be a fast process or that it would be a process that would benefit Mooresville any more than trying to form a territory. I know, again, this has been going on since the 50s. We need to merge the departments, and it's just a little more complicated than that. I think our goal as a council is to make sure that we provide good fire protection for the town of Mooresville. All that the township trustee has to do by statute is provide fire service or fire protection for the unincorporated areas. We are blessed with Brown Township Fire Department, and years ago, when a gentleman took it upon himself to start an ambulance down there. We have a very good service in the northern end of Morgan County, and I think anything less than what we have now would be detrimental to the citizens of the town of Mooresville and the township. I'm going to ask the council for permission to continue to speak with and a volunteer from the council to go with me in those discussions on what it would look like if we did a territory. 2 years ago, a year ago, we looked at this, and it was very short time. It was done in January, and they said we have to have this done by February to make it operational in July. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing now is we're looking at it to say we have 12 months to be sold on the idea, and then also to make sure that the public is comfortable with it. But I need the council's permission to enter into those talks. Any questions, comments? Jeff, I know you've been there with me. I mean, we tried. Yeah. Bert? Josh?
I'll make the motion to allow you to move forward.
Greg, do you have any comments? Okay. Motion has been made. I need a second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
We have our work cut out for us. We have their acting chief here in our audience tonight. Not going to say that everything turns out the way we want it to, but at least it turns out some way.
Get to working on it. Thank you.
Bill, do you have anything?
I'll save my comments for next meeting.
Okay. Dave?
Inliner is finishing up the sewer lining. We've all been detoured around Monroe Street for the past week or so. They're going to work on Tulip Drive for the next couple of days to get that one taken care of. That one's been a real trouble spot, but that's all I have.
Dave, I know that we talked about it in the past. I'm going to reiterate, if you think that there's something that we need to bid out to do, please, on the lining, on the steam in place lining, please let us know so we can fund it and move forward on it.
Right, this is finishing up a contract that we signed with them a couple years ago. So, but we'll look at more and try to get the town, as you call it, big tight.
Big tight.
Thank you. Thanks.
Legal counsel,
Nothing for you this evening.
are there any public comments? See none? Motion for approval of payment claims, and I think we have 3 sets this time.
Stuck together.
We have 3.
I'm looking. Yep. Okay. Motion to approve payables in the amount of $957,302.39.
Say it one more time.
The amount again. $957,302.39.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0.
Motion to approve payroll clearing in the amount of $202,759.41.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0.
Motion to approve payroll clearing in the amount of $229,564.04.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0. Town council comments. Jeffrey?
Not at this time.
Bert?
Only thing I have is the condolences to Helen Knight's family. We lost her this last week or so. She was turned 100 last year, and she just recently passed. Only thing I have.
None.
Greg?
Good, thank you.
Our next meeting date will be Tuesday, February 20th. You guys want to do it at 6:30 here? 6:30 here. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait a minute. Well,
We weren't sure.
okay, before we only have a motion. And she was telling me that she didn't know, when I asked for public comments, Robbie, come on up and let's, yeah. I know you want to come next meeting too, but I just,
Come to a lot of
there you go.
until it's resolved. My name is Rob Halcom. I live at 831 North Indiana Street. I'd like to thank you guys for everything you guys have done with the torches of both ends of town, the new park and everything. Pickleball court's coming. I'm all excited about that. I will volunteer to give lessons with that. And with the new lighting and stuff, and Mrs. Moore for having our flags and stuff out there for the veterans. I think 40 is about 200 too low. I think every telephone pole in town should have the veterans up there and stuff. The reason I'm here today is to see what we're doing about our ordinances for like nuisances. I've talked to most of you guys off the side. The house across from me is absolutely horrible. I'm sure they're great people, but there's been as many as 14 cars there. Right now, when I left today, there were seven cars. There's no grass, the mud, the street, the sewer, the mice, the trash is stacked up in bags. They don't have a trash service in front of a car that probably doesn't have a license plate. Now they brought in a trailer, and now we've got a boat, and it's been a problem. We've talked about this. I've looked at it for years. I've offered to mow. And it's not just here. The mosquitoes, it's become a nuisance. I've never had a mouse in my house. I grew up here, never had a mouse in the house. Last September, I had 22 or 4 mice within a week. You just watch them scurry across the road. I'm not sure if it was a cat or a rat. It's coming out of the trash and stuff like that. The rubbish, the garbage meets everything in your criteria, yet nothing's being done. And I don't expect the police, of all people, to be the grass police. Go around, here's a ticket for not cutting your grass and stuff like that. But we've got the rules. Everybody usually tries to abide by them, and I don't know what we can do. Your rules are pretty explicit about what your duties are, what everybody's duties are, and I don't see it happening. I was told that legal counsel had taken this on like last August, had taken that to look at to see how we get more teeth into it. It's been 6 months, so I'm here to say, what are we going to do? How are we doing this in the city so it's fair to everybody? I'm not a big thing that says you can't do whatever you want to your property until it affects trying to sell a property, and you're not going to sell a property looking at that every day. And everybody here knows which house we're talking about. There's no reason to even have an address.
Well, Robbie, you and I have had this conversation. We've even talked to, I've had Dave look at it as far as for just the mud that they track out there. Just anything that we can find to do that. We do have ordinance 15 of 2010.
Yes.
That is a nuisance ordinance.
Garbage, refuge, everything fits. Abandoned cars, it's got it.
I think our police have been involved with that, and you said that you don't think it should be the police, but it is the police that enforces our ordinances, and that's who they're going to listen to.
To the point to the abatement, and it should have already been that way. The letters, if you read about the abatement, it tells exactly what you're going to, the thing, then it goes to the judge, and the judge says there's abatement. We're going to go clean this thing up, and then the city pays to get it cleaned up, and then they have to pay you guys back. You put a lien against their house. It's been a lot of years.
I agree with you. I've taken pictures myself, and not to put you on the spot, Dave, but I've sent you several pictures. Do you know where those went? Have we done anything with stormwater complaints or?
He has been notified to not track out mud on the street. We haven't
We have or have not? How do we go about doing that? Other than the police writing citations, I mean, can we do anything on the stormwater side or?
We have a finding mechanism in place to find.
Can we start that tomorrow?
I mean, stormwater, I mean, obviously you go down there, it's all mud all down through there
Yeah,
and stuff.
you're right.
It's even tracking into, the lady's yard next door where
I've had several complaints from her. That's how I got it.
I mean, yes, obviously it's horrible. But the bags of trash that meets every standard that you have in 917 is about that, tells what the steps are and the abatement report like that. And after this many years, we're going to have to do something. I mean, or not,
I agree.
You're
I
going to
agree.
do something,
Hopefully we
or,
can. So.
we'll be here at every meeting. There'll be a lot more of us. I just kind of was elected from the people, because they said the smell in the backyard from the people up in Arasta Estates is horrible. And when I'm seeing mice and rats, then the Board of Health needs to get in there and have them clean it up. You got standing water in the yard because there's no grass. And it's hard to grow grass when you got, and I don't care how many cars the guy's got there, as long as it's fairly neat and orderly, but, I've seen as many as 14 cars there for not a day or for a party, for weeks at a time. That's all I got to say about that.
Thank you. Do you want to address that with the chief?
Yeah, I can do it after the meeting.
Rob, thank you very much. I think this will go a long way. I had a motion to adjourn on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, I vote. Yes.
I can, but I think I've got it, but I'll go ahead and do it just as a backup.
Send this to everyone.
Okay.
And we'll address it, because I think it's sometime in March, isn't it? March 14th? Yeah, he'll come, starting March 14th, he'll be leaving California.
Lee, you want to go on Plan Commission?
And then go ahead and send it to the police department.
Police and fire, but I didn't.
Guys, with that stuff, I'm willing to.
Is this thing not letting me use my camera?
I was gonna say, if you need some help, though.
Okay?
I know he's not doing it.